All right, y'all. Can you hear me? First step, testing. Can you hear me? I've made that mistake in the past. I'm told that we have 8 people watching, so if somebody could, you know, confirm that for me, that would be dope. Otherwise, I'll just vamp, you know. Sorry for the delay. I hope that the look was worth it. All right, Ben. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. So I thought I should, to help me get back in the habit of live streaming, I thought that this outfit might be appropriate, right? Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty proud of that, if you couldn't tell. Okay, well, we do have 8 people here. Please feel free to say hi. Um, See who's here for today. We're gonna be doing the August. Yes, the stuff I watched in August. And then next week will be September, and then next week we're going to be getting current. And then that'll be that. As always, we have a lot to go over, so that should fill the space, fill the time adequately. What have you guys been watching? It's spooky season. It's Halloween, you know? Um, so let me know if you have any good Halloween watches so far this month. But otherwise, we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So let me, yeah, do that. Hey, Tony, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And I hope that editing goes well. All right. So let's go over here and pick back up where we left off. First we have The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is the Disney version, not the version that I have on my challenge this year. I hadn't seen this since I was like very, very little. I couldn't tell you when the last time I watched this was, to be honest. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it went pretty hard. I watched the new 4K restoration of Peter Jackson's Brain Dead last night at the Dark Nights Film Festival. It looked incredible. I didn't know that that was happening. Is he finally done? Did he finally do it? That'll be exciting. Hopefully next year we'll get that on a disc of some kind. That would be cool. Um, okay. Hunchback. Yeah, I don't know. There's some pretty sick stuff in here, and I think it's, you know, uh, the constant slur usage aside, I think it's pretty progressive for the time. Um, I don't know. I think it's beautifully animated. I think it's a nice story, and generally speaking, I really enjoy it. So happy about that, I guess. He did. Here's hoping it will be released physically soon. I hope so too. I hope so too. I can't imagine he won't. Like, somebody's got to have that ready to go, right? The rights and stuff, like, that's got to be a thing, right? So, anyway. Next is just a rewatch of Naked Came the Stranger. Hello, Andrew. Luna and I watched Love Massacre and The Seventh Curse, and they were both really good. I'm glad to hear that they were good. The Seventh Curse That's the one the VS put out this year, right? What is Love Massacre? I don't know if I know that one. Oh, okay. It's on my watch list. Sorry if I'm a little low energy today. Um, oh, nice. This is the one where bro like rips the $700 laser disc and put it out. That's like real shit. That's like praxis right there, you know. Um, yeah, I remember this. Okay. It's the seventh curse. Yeah. Also on my watch list. Nice. It's apparently a good one. I'm glad that they were good. I think I'm gonna end up watching Countess Dracula tonight. I think that's what it's called. The one with Ingrid Pitt in it. Yeah, pretty sure that's right. Um, oh, like I was saying earlier, sorry if I'm a little low energy today. I honestly wasn't super feeling doing this, but it's about consistency, right? You gotta just fucking power through. You gotta just do it, even if you're not necessarily in the mood or whatever. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to make this a consistent thing. Um, so thank you to everybody who's here. Please feel free to share your thoughts. Okay. Next, Breaking the Girls. This was an interesting one. Okay. This is directed by Jamie Babbitt, who, as you can see, is the director of But I'm a Cheerleader, which is a certified classic. Big fan of that one. And it is written by the writer of American Psycho. So I'm like, this has to be good, right? Like, there's no way. And as you can see from my rating, I didn't think it was that great, unfortunately. But yeah, let me just read this. Seduction, betrayal, murder. What are best friends for? A naive college student loses a scholarship at the hands of a classmate and makes a pact with a mysterious friend to kill off each other's enemies. Yeah, so I talked about this a little bit on Punk Vacation. But woof. This one was just so convoluted and confusing, and like I couldn't believe that the release year on it was 2012 because it looks at least a decade older than that. Like it really just feels like a 2000s like Lifetime movie or something. Excuse me. It's like that, but if you combined it with like Wild Things or something like that. Like it has that sort of erotic thriller element and the like sort of way over convoluted plot with like entirely too many plot twists, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of insane. Um yeah, by the time this ended, I was like, what is happening? I don't understand what the like I don't understand this movie. Like I had a hard time following it, and maybe it's just because I wasn't paying attention as much as I should have been because I didn't think it was very good. But I like tried looking online for like a decent plot synopsis or whatever just to like catch me up, and I couldn't find one. So that was unfortunate. Um, but yeah, not my favorite film that I've ever seen by any means, but you know, it's there and it's at least interesting. So check that out, I guess. And then the next one I watched was Young and Beautiful. This one I liked a lot more. Um, didn't didn't Altered Innocence put out a triple feature of this guy's films? Am I making that up? I feel like I'm not making that up. Anyway, Isabel, a 17-year-old student, loses her virginity during a quick holiday romance. When she returns home, she begins a secret life as a prostitute for a year. Yeah. So this one is dealing with, you know, some subject matter that some people might find distasteful and subject matter that I think could very easily become highly exploitative, but I think the director does a really good job at I don't know, framing this situation and shooting these scenes very neutrally. Like it doesn't feel to me like we're doing this out of like some kind of prurient interest in like underage prostitution or something like that. Like it does feel like it's more so a compassionate and um for lack of a better word objective exploration and analysis of like what that experience might be like for somebody or what would lead somebody to seek out those experiences. um I think that the reactions of the people around her are especially interesting, the ways that the clients are portrayed. um there's a lot going on here that I found to be really well done and really um, compassionate and thoughtful and nuanced. So, yeah, I liked this quite a bit and I recommend it. And it's on Blu ray from somebody. I think, oh, it's IFC because IFC had uh, two releases announced that month, and I watched both of them. I'm going to take a second real quick to promote this stream in my Discord server because it's a little bit slow around here. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I did rewatch last week's stream, and the ASMR stuff at the end did sound kind of silly because my noise gate is on. So it didn't quite work out. All right, a little bit of promo. Moving along. Yeah, so this one, oh, I did shoot a review for this. That's good. I thought I hadn't yet. I'm glad I was able to get some takes out on this while it was fresher. Just pulling this up. I don't remember shooting a review for this. Making sure that that is, in fact, what it is. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. I did, in fact, shoot a review for this, and I just completely forgot. So that's good. Okay. So less pressure to cut this into a segment later. Okay. Sorry Baby, directed by Eva Victor, who, by the way, is non-binary. So if you're into seeing films from non-binary people, make it a priority to see this. 144,000 people say they've seen this. That's awesome. I'm glad it's popping off. Welcome to the world. Something bad happened to Agnes, but life goes on for everyone around her, at least. Weird. So I think people see this poster and they're like, oh, it's about losing your cat. It's about a cat dying or something like that. And I think that that sort of maybe hampered this film a bit or made it such that people were less likely to go see it. But I'm here to assure you that fortunately, the cat does survive. The cat is fine. Nothing bad happens to the cat. The cat is fucking chilling in this movie. That being said, it's not like this is an easy watch necessarily. It deals with pretty heavy subject matter. So if you're a person who needs trigger warnings for things, I would recommend you look into this a little bit more before you see it. But I think that the things that it handles are handled very well and very nuanced and very compassionately and kindly, and they're handled also with a lot of humor, which is nice. Um, like this movie is very funny. It's very beautiful and it's very poignant and it's very cozy. But it's also very funny. I also just I use the word cozy there, and I'm like looking at this image here, and it just makes me it made me really excited for fall weather because I watched this back in August, and we're almost halfway through October, and it's just now getting colder outside. So it's really nice. Somebody calls me a faggot queer. What are you, a fucking lesbian? Yeah, something like that. Something like that. I appreciate it. Let me switch this to all live chat so I can see all of this. Wow. Okay. That's not even the correct slur. Um, I guess I'll ban this person. Um, mm, I don't understand that last one. Let me refresh my chat so there's not just a slur on the screen real quick. Um, will this work? How do I actually do this? Well, let me hide it for now because I don't want that showing up. Um, because I guess that could get me in trouble. Hail het la. I don't know what that means, but in any case, um, I'm gonna remove these so that it's just, are you gay? Yeah, man. That's like the whole thing. That's like the whole thing. I guess I'll just keep that blocked because I don't know who found this stream, but we've got we got trolls in here. Are you gay? Then I will bash you. I mean, go ahead. You can bash me. Um, talk your shit, bud. Go for it. Okay. Um, so yeah, this film is really I should probably go ahead and the Nazis will return, says this person. Okay, who fucking sent my stream over to Nazis? This is new for me. I mean, I've gotten trolls before, but this is like, somebody's clearly if I could add this person as a moderator, that would be fun. Okay. Okay, there's an easier way to do this now. That's nice. Used to be harder. Don't do that. I'm just gonna keep that message there because it's funny. Um, that was distracting. Anyway, so did I say everything that I have to say about this? I think that another thing that is really interesting and unique about this film is that it handles trauma in I think a way that is especially and sort of uniquely nuanced for this sort of thing. Um, there are other films that I have seen that okay, so this person keeps switching accounts and they seem to think that I'm black, which is weird. I mean, at least get it right, you know? Anyway, I guess I'll ban this person too. Cool. Um, I need like moderators. Dude, this is crazy. We got another one here. This guy is just spamming swastikas now, which is really cool for me. Okay. Okay. yeah, I guess we're at the point where I need moderators. So let's see. If somebody wants to volunteer to be a moderator so that I can stay focused and you can just ban this person for me, hit me up. That would be appreciated. All right, hold on. I'm going to take a quick break and see if I can't fix this because this is really distracting. So I will return shortly. All right, y'all. So, sorry for that. I've not been in this situation before, so this is all new for me. We're learning as we go. Um, I've got our friend, our pal Val on the case. He's now our moderator to hopefully take care of this troll infestation we have going on here. If anybody else wants to be a moderator and I know who you are and you're cool and chill, just comment or whatever and I can just do it. Alternatively, or not alternatively, in addition, I see that our goated fucking friend. Hi Andrew, thanks for waiting. I appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who stuck around. That's very kind of you. No, I was gone for a second. Um, yeah, feel free to fill up my chat again with messages that aren't slurs. That would be good. Our favorite anonymous tipper has come to help out once again and bring me motivation in dark times, right? We're running that shit back. I don't know if it actually played during the break. Hopefully it did, but we're running it back. Thank you. I appreciate you a lot. You're the best. Okay. We can do it. All right, y'all. So let's go back. Yeah, let's go back over here. And I don't know, man. Do I have anything else to say about this? I already shot a review for it. You should really go see it if you haven't. Oh, what I was saying is how fucking cozy it is. Like, the cinematography in this is so beautiful. Like, it's so... I don't know. It just makes me feel cozy, but also a little bit nostalgic in a nice way. Like, I always have feelings of nostalgia during fall and winter seasons because I feel like that's when a lot of really big sort of memories happen. Like, there's a lot of holidays in that period, and so there tends to be a lot of like special moments and trips and stuff like that. So the weather always kind of makes me feel comfy in that sort of way. And I know that I am always a big proponent of saying that nostalgia is fascistic, and I do agree with that still. But I think there's a difference between like, oh, this reminds me of happy memories, nostalgic, and like this reminds me when things were better. Because that's not true, you know? My little trips to cabins and stuff as a teenager and as an adult and whatever else, right? Like, those were nice, but those were not better days, you know? Anyway, I really like, here's the other thing I'll say. I really like, oh, hi Ben. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Also, by the way, I have been chopping up my old streams and uploading the individual segments and stuff. So I hope that if you missed some previous streams, you're able to catch those. Or if you just want to watch it again in sort of a new context with some editing, then you can do that as well. Anyway, I really like it when films that are just dramas or comedies or whatever, like stuff that's pretty low key, that's pretty low budget, that isn't just like, you know, a blockbuster spectacle or like a really weird artsy horror movie or whatever, like stuff that's just like a straightforward comedy or drama. I really like it when you can still tell that it's a movie and it's shot like a fucking movie and it's shot really beautifully and purposefully and like with care and attention. Um, that makes me happy to watch movies like that. I really like that. And I think um I think this is one of those movies. There's a few. I'll just go ahead and skip ahead a little bit and say that there was a movie called Like Roses that came out this year that made me feel that way. Like, I watched that and, you know, I think it's a really good movie regardless, but I think what part of what helps that is that it feels so intentional and it feels so beautifully shot and considered, and I just really appreciate that about that. So, yeah. Um I see we have more viewers here now that I'm back. That's nice. 12 people here. Feel free to say hi. Um, yeah, it's always fun to make these a little bit of a back and forth, you know what I'm saying? So, please go see this movie. It's great. Hi, Dustin. I'm so glad I logged on for this glorious costume jump scare. I instantly felt like I'd entered an abbey from hell. That's the goal. That's what we're trying to do. Thanks for being here, bud. I appreciate it. Um, you missed the little adventure where I had my first like troll raid brigade or whatever. Somebody was just spamming a bunch of like Nazi shit and homophobic and racist slurs and stuff. That was fun. Um, do I even say this? Do I even give this the attention or whatever? Like, I feel like this person feels like they've upset me or whatever, and like that's not necessarily true. I just am at a weird intersection of this where I have enough attention to get attention like this, but I don't have like enough such that it gets lost in the sea of chats and I have like a team of moderators that can just take care of it. You know what I mean? Um, so it's a little bit of a weird thing where like I have to handle it and like I can't be doing that and streaming at the same time, whereas this guy can just sit there and fucking, come up with weird. You know what? That makes sense why he had it all spelled weird because, I'm adding like blocked words and stuff now, so it's a whole thing. Anyway. Yeah, it's rough. Anyway, y'all, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. There's a first time for everything, right? Okay, moving along. This movie fucking rules. Go see it. Probably still my third favorite film of the year so far. What's next? May. A friend of mine had been wanting to come over and watch a movie, and this was the movie that she picked. And this was one that she had liked growing up and liked a lot for a long time, and wanted to, wasn't sure how it was gonna hold up. Also, Dustin, yes, fuck the Nazis. I think we can all agree with that. Hopefully, if you can't agree with that, you should probably be somewhere else. um, yeah, this movie's fucking kind of insane. It's really uncomfortable and it's really delightful and it's really did I say uncomfortable already? Because that's the main adjective I would use to describe it. This actress, Angela Bettis, she's also in Girl Interrupted. That makes sense. And Carrie and the woman. Okay, so she just plays like fucked up girls. That's cool. I'm into that. Shout out this person. She did a great job in this one. Um, God, there was a movie that I compared this to where I said that this was the female version of it. Another movie about like a weird, I mean, there's so many of them about like weird guys with like, I mean, this is like a femcel movie, so like there's so many incel movies. But there's one in particular where I was like, it's literally just this. Um, James Duval. Different James Duval. Unless we are thinking of the same. Oh no, I'm thinking of somebody else. James Duval. This is the same guy. Okay, yeah. The Bunny Rabbit. Nice. Anyway. I just watched Jafar Panahi's I don't know how to pronounce his name, I apologize. Iranian, filmed in secret. It was just an accident. Comes out October 24th. You are going to love it. I love his films. I'm really excited for his new one. I have not caught his most recent one or the one before it, I think. But I've seen a few of his films and his stuff is really important and really great. I don't understand how this like works where he like makes movies in secret and then releases them to the public and continues to live in Iran. Like you filmed the evidence, you know what I mean? It's out there. Like I don't know what to say. I don't know how that works. Um, but you know, I don't know. I hope I don't know. He must like. I feel like he could move somewhere. I guess I don't know enough about this, about how emigrating from Iran would work. But he must be choosing to stay there, right? Because like you absolutely could, um, if you're of that cultural sort of stature, probably leave and make movies, like not have to be in secret or whatever. I hope I'm not just spouting off a bunch of ignorance here, but if somebody could, you know, educate me or help me understand how this all works, I'd appreciate that. Um, Yeah, Val, I was hoping you would remember what movie I was talking about. It really reminded me so deeply of this other movie. It's gonna bother me that I can't remember what it is, but whatever. Anyway, this feels like a film, a horror movie about neurodivergence, about autism. Um, you know, she's just people always talk about like, oh, this person matches my freak and stuff, and like, you know what? If you can't handle the real freaks, this is real freak shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be clear, I think that a lot of the behavior in here is probably not great. I'm just sort of doing a bit, but it does sort of feel like a cautionary tale for people with neurodivergence and or social uh antisocial behavior, you know? Or maybe it's a manifesto for those folks, you know? Maybe that's not what I got out of it, but maybe you could watch this and be like, you know what? That's awesome. Fuck yeah, let's go, you know? And if that's what you got out of it, more power to you. That's awesome. It's gonna be better when I do these more recently because I'm forgetting. I watch so many movies that I forget things. And yet, as I'm saying that, Dustin writes, I love May, a film, one scene, never forgotten. I mean, I don't think I'm ever gonna forget the film, but I'm forgetting some of the more nuanced and specific takes that I had about it. So it'll be good to get us caught up, and then we can hopefully be better about that. Because maybe it's because I'm watching so many movies. Maybe it's because I'm maybe it's because I'm smoking weed every day now. But like I find that I'm having a harder time remembering specific things, like having the sort of instant recall on sorts and remembering exactly what I had to say about certain things. I should write more reviews, and I'll have something to reflect back on, you know, or refer back to, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But yes, I did love this movie. I thought it was great. Um, oh boy, F1. Dustin, I'm sorry. I know you love this movie. Weed can do that to you. Yeah, yeah, that might be what's going on. Maybe I need to cut back. I don't know. It's stressful out here, you know what I'm saying? I wrote, I'm actually really proud of this short review. I think it's really funny. F1 star indeed. That's what it means. That's the F1 is how many stars it gets. I'm actually really proud of this short review that I shot right out of the theater because I was like sort of composing it as I was watching it because I couldn't believe how bad it was. Um, and I couldn't believe how far we seem to have regressed in terms of like representation and storytelling and stuff like that. Like this is just the most straightforwardly reactionary, like kind of I'm sick and tired of hearing all this woke shit. Like it's time to just make movies about old white guys and how awesome they are again and how like and not just because like Superman is also a movie about a, you know, maybe not old, but like an adult fucking white guy and how awesome he is. But that's different. That's not being contrasted with like racial and gender minorities and stuff, you know? This is like expressly the point of the film is like, you know what? White men have been pushed in the shadows for too long and it's time for them to like have their day again and have their moment of glory, you know? It's rough. Anyway, what I wrote here is to all the shitty boomer white men reading this, fear no longer. You're safe now. Everything is about you, and you are the main character. They're finally telling stories about you again. Thank God you never changed. I'm a little bit bitter about this movie, if you can't tell. Um, but it's also so easy and fun to roast that I am kind of glad it exists in that capacity, you know? See, I liked this review. Brad Pitt gives a bad performance here. Damson Idris, who's incredible in Snowfall, and Javier Bardem are underutilized here. Feels like the colorblind version of Creed made for some people's racist parents who would love to see Brad Pitt stick it to the younger generation. Also has a lot of weird similarities to Green Book that would explain why certain people, especially in America, would enjoy F1 derogatory. Pretty movie with great directing though. Watch the race scenes on YouTube. Those are worth it. The race scenes. I almost misinterpreted that sentence. Um, yeah, I'm maybe a little bit harsher on this than other people, but I'm not. I'm not exaggerating. I really did hate it this much, and I really can't believe that it's receiving the acclaim that it's receiving. I mean, it's probably going to get some Oscar nominations, but please, for the love of God, do not put this one in the Best Picture category. Um, okay. Don't Panic. This was the second in the trilogy of the Ruben Galindo Jr. films that I watched. Possessed by horror. On his 17th birthday, a boy named Michael has a surprise party thrown by his friends where a session with a Ouija board accidentally unleashes a demon named Virgil who possesses one of them to go on a killing spree. Michael, now plagued by violent nightmares and premonitions, sets out to try and stop the killings. Gosh, we're back here again when I must confess to you that I don't remember a ton about this. I remember that he had like freaky eyes and shit, and he had to wear sunglasses so that people wouldn't catch on or whatever, you know. I remember that part. Maybe I do need to cut back a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Or at least maybe but you know what? You know what? You know what? We're about to defend this for a second. I'm about to get a little bit defensive because there is also something to be said about getting really high and watching a dumb movie. And you know what? You might not remember it in what? August, 2 months, right? But you enjoyed it while it was on. It was fun. You had a good time. What more could you ask? I mean, it would be nice to remember it, you know? But it's hard to tell sometimes. It's like, well, is the movie just not memorable, or did I indulge in too many substances, and that's why I had a hard time remembering it? Who knows? It's a fun game. Um, but I don't know. I liked this movie. I mean, I gave it a good score, and like I enjoyed it, and I liked this vibe. Like I like these sort of these are Mexican, right? Yeah, these Mexican gothic horror films. Like I think that that's a blast. I'm always down to hang out with some Mexican horror films, and if I can get real toasted and just vibe with it, yeah, sure, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that this is anything particularly special, but I did enjoy it for what it was. I mean, look at that. That's that's quite the poster. Here's a German one. I'm not even entirely sure what's going on here, but it's cool, you know. I was late coming in, but did we also pay our quick respects for Diane Keaton? I adored her work and her spirit so much. I'm pretty shocked. Um, Val is out here fucking uh enabling me is the word I'm looking for. Um, no, I did not give it my quick respects to Diane Keaton. I got to be honest, I'm not super familiar with her work. I mean, I've seen The Godfather and The Godfather 2, but it's been so long that I'm due for rewatches for sure. And I do love her performance in Annie Hall. I think that that's probably the best part of that movie, which to be fair is not a slight. That's not a backhanded compliment. I love that movie a lot. But I think that she's probably the best part of it, right? And I know that she directed an episode of Twin Peaks, which was really cool. I don't know which one it was. But yeah, we can do that. Shout out Diane Keaton. Shout out, pour one out. You know what? Let's look her up. Maybe. Does she have any good horror films? I could maybe add her to oh god, yeah, she's in Manhattan. I can't stand Manhattan. The movie is really rough. Okay, not a big horror person. She was in Mr. Goodbar though, which I don't think is a horror movie at all. No, okay. Let's do a quick. I was gonna say I could switch out the David Lynch short film for this, and then maybe that could be a thing. You know what I'm saying? Um, in the unsung horrors thing. She has not appeared in a single horror film. That's kind of crazy. She's been in almost 80 films. You know what? Good for her. If that's not her thing, I'm glad she didn't do it. I hope that she wasn't secretly waiting for Wes Craven or fucking John Carpenter or fucking, any of the new up and coming. I hope she wasn't waiting for Zach Kreger to give her a call to be like, yo, I've always wanted to be in a fucking horror movie. Um, anyway, Looking for Mr. Goodbar is the closest thing to a horror film. I was kind of terrified. Okay, well that sounds fun. I do need to see it. I'm late on watching that. I'm behind for sure. But okay, let me go back to this comment. Sometimes something being ephemeral doesn't lessen its value. I also love watching things toasted. I think that's a really beautiful way to put I can't remember shit. Ephemeral is a nice way of putting it. Don't Panic is a lovely ephemeral viewing experience. I'm going to be stealing that, so thank you. And then the next one. I forgot that I double featured this in the same night. That's cool. I apparently liked this more. Okay, I remember more about this, so presumably I was also toasted for this, and I remember more about it, so maybe the last one was just more vibes and less plot, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with, like, having a bunch of cool images and cool vibes, you know, with or without substances. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, look at this shit. That's hard. I'm into that. What other posters do we have? That's a pretty good poster, I gotta say. And then that's the new one, which is also pretty sick. Just lots of good images associated with this, you know? Unearthing the past. That's a good tagline, because that is literally what you're doing. So, you know. A group of teenage treasure-seeking grave robbers accidentally uncover the tomb of a satanic sect leader from the early Spanish colonial age. Excuse me, I ate right before this, so I'm a little bit, you know, gassy, I guess. Reawakening the diabolical killer who promptly sets out to... I like that word there. No hesitation. Sets out to complete his unholy mission of spawning the son of Satan. Well, that's a noble endeavor indeed. Yeah, these people are just like robbing these like hella elaborate fucking graves with like, you know, hella jewels and shit in them, and just like uh uh um I'm having too many thoughts at once, and I'm trying to organize them in a way that I can say them in an order, because I can't say all of my thoughts at once, unfortunately. Um But yeah, this one's fun because they like get locked up and stuff, and like the what do you call him? The fucking jail guy, the guy key, the cop or whatever, like he doesn't, you know, believe that like they're being like hunted down by these like satanic supernatural entities or whatever, and it's a whole thing. I don't know. I just really like gothic horror films. I really like Mexican horror films, and this is a pretty good one. Lots of good vibes and imagery and stuff going on here. Dustin, let me know if you're cool with this. Now that you're in the chat, if I can make you a moderator, because I want to have a few different moderators here so that if something like that happens again, hopefully one of those people is at least active enough that they can be on that. So let me know if you're down for that. Anyway. Oh, man. Next one is She Rides Shotgun. This is another new release that I can't recommend highly enough. All right, sick. Thanks. I am doing that now. Oh, I have to do that over here. Whoops. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All right. You're the fucking fuzz around here now, bud. You and Val are the cops. Sorry to say. I do love Churches. This comment is accurate. Churches is such a fucking good band. It's insane. I have a poster from when I saw them, and it's signed by the whole band, which is pretty cool, I think, anyway. All right. All a father needs is a fighting chance. That's a bad tagline. Newly released from prison and marked for death by unrelenting enemies, Nate must now protect his estranged 11-year-old daughter, Polly, at all costs. With scant resources and no one to trust, Nate and Polly forge a bond under fire as he shows her how to fight and survive, and she teaches him the true meaning of unconditional love. So that sounds cheesy and dumb as fuck, right? It is a little... I think it could be very corny to the wrong person. Like, I think somebody could watch this and come away from it being like, well, that was schmaltzy as fuck. And I just don't agree. I don't know. It just really worked for me. I think it is really, you need the right performers for something like this for it to work. They need to have a lot of chemistry, and you need a good child actor, which is always a gamble. But this one's really good, and it's shot really well. It's the script is just so good, and I don't know, man. This movie's just really great. It's in my top 10 of the year right now, I think. Um, and I was very, very emotional at the end of this movie. And I mean, the Church's song is a big part of it because I just love that band so much. And it just, I don't know, there's something about a well-placed needle drop in a movie that can really, it can just really do it, you know? I'm a big music person, and like that's probably part of it, but like damn, dude, it's crazy how far that can escalate a movie, especially at the end. Um, but it's just so beautifully made and so beautifully executed, that last scene. I don't know, this film is just, it's just really sweet, and it's really emotionally impactful, and I don't know, I just really like, something that I like about this film is how it's so, maybe mute this for a little bit if you don't want any spoilers whatsoever, because I'm going to kind of allude to at least themes here, but like, I really like how we aren't just treating human beings as good guys and bad guys in this film. Like these are very nuanced characters, and it kind of subverts audience expectations in a way that I think is earned and really well done. Um, and I don't know. I just think it's really sweet to see a character like this, and it's really refreshing to see a character like this portrayed in a way that's so compassionate and nuanced. So I really think this film is something special. I think that rating is too low. I'm probably gonna thinking about putting this on my Plex server. That might be a cool thing to do. I don't know if it has a Blu-ray. Um, let me check that real quick, or if it's been announced or anything. Let's see. Yeah. Go away. Okay, nothing. Oh no. Yeah, nothing. No releases for it yet, just digital. So that's unfortunate. Well, maybe there's a DVD that's supposed to drop in 3 days. So that's not great. So hopefully that changes sometime soon. Anyway, all right, moving along. We're not that far in, and we're already an hour into the stream. Although I guess my break took a little bit of a long time, so I guess we'll have to hustle a little bit. I watched Ghostbusters 2. I'm pretty sure I have a distinct memory of having seen it and like one scene from it. Um, but yeah, I liked this maybe a little bit less than the first one. I just still think it's not good. I don't know. This franchise is not something that I gel with, I guess. Moving on, weapons. I shot a review for this, but hey David, thanks for being here. Speaking of Mexican horror films, have you ever seen We Are the Flesh by Emiliano Rocha Minter? No, I've never even heard of that. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Wait, I'm pretty sure I have heard of this, and I do own it. Yeah, I have this, and I haven't seen it yet. But I heard it's fucking nuts, so I'm excited about it. I should definitely see this at some point. Thank you for reminding me that I need to see this. After wandering a ruined city for years in search of food and shelter, two siblings find their way into one of the last remaining buildings. Inside, they find a man who will make them a dangerous offer to survive the outside world. I mean, that sounds chill. All right, Dustin says that is a Celeste film if there ever was one. I appreciate the specificity in your recommendation there. Are you saying you've seen it and you agree, or just that the synopsis gives confidence to your recommendation or whatever. Yes, disturbing in a marvelous way. Well, that's a pretty ringing endorsement for me. Jeremy, thank you for being here. Happy Saturday, and I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. It's nice to see you. I hope you're having a nice day. How many I know you're like always doing like triple features at the theater and shit. Did you see anything cool today? Dustin says, I've seen it. It's unlike anything else. Needed a shower after. Nice. Well, I'm into that. I think I had a list at some point in movies that made me feel like I had to take a shower. And I think I deleted it. But I did it for like one of those Letterboxd sort of community polls or whatever. I think Hard to Be a God was at the top of that list. Had to wake up early to see a movie? To take my girlfriend to the airport. Okay. That's fair. That's good. It's good to do nice things for your partner. Okay, weapons. I don't know. I feel like I like this a little bit less as more distance, as I have more distance from it. I still really like it. But I just think Barbarian was a more interesting, thematically rich film than Weapons is. But that's not to say that Weapons is lacking those things, because I think it still does have them. Like, I think it has them quite a bit, actually. I've seen my my hot take that this is a film about school shootings is one of the more popular theories out there, and I'm not going to say that that's because of me, because that's silly. And I'm sure some of that stuff was out there before I even saw it, because I'm not in the cool kids club that gets to see stuff early. But like, yeah, I really do think that that's what the movie is about. I mean, I think it's about grief more generally, and like, well, I did still love the movie. I do really like it, but I do think that Barbarian is like a decent amount better. Urchin and Roofman. What is Urchin? I know Roofman. I'm hoping to see that sometime soon, but I don't know what Urchin is. Yeah, okay, so he's definitely exploring grief in a way that is personal, and there are little nods to like Whitest Kids and Trevor Moore and stuff like that. But I think it's more about how a community grieves like a really tragic thing, and all the toxic and unpredictable ways that that sort of comes to pass, and the sort of inevitability of um or the what am I trying to say? I don't want to talk about the ending because the film is still new, so I'll leave it at that. Urchin is a new film directed by Harris Dickinson, his directorial debut, I believe. Well, let's pull it up. You're still squeezing in a double feature. Okay. That's like most people's day, but okay. A young addict living on the streets of London is given a shot at redemption, but his road to recovery soon curdles into a strange odyssey from which he may never escape. Seems intriguing. I liked Weapons and its themes well enough. I just feel a half hour of repetition could have been cut out. I think that's fair. I think that is totally fair. Cannes Film Festival. No, it's got a limited theatrical run. I don't believe this is playing in my city, unfortunately. Who are you? Oh, this is an actor. I was like, I feel like I recognize him. Oh, it's the hot guy from Baby Girl. Okay. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, I'd love to see this. He's really good in that, so nice. Can we talk about Baby Girl some more and how much I fucking love that movie? It's probably one of my favorites of the decade, if I'm being honest. Gosh, maybe one day I'll upload my video about it, or I'll actually shoot it. I wrote a script like almost a year ago at this point. I think it'll be a good one, but it's got mixed reviews, so we'll see. Well, I mean, 3.5 is pretty good, so, you know, of the decade. I don't know, man. It's a movie that feels like it was made for me, you know? It's just really like, it hits for a lot of personal things for me. Like, I think that that film is tackling so many complex, nuanced, and difficult subjects all at once. in a way that is like intelligent and entertaining and sexy. And it's really, really well made. I love that movie so much. So, yeah. Not to put you on blast, I'm curious what you gave it now. We're finding Jeremy's review, unless you just want to tell me in the in the chat. While we're talking about weapons, I'm forever hearing people call it a comedy. Did I miss all the jokes? I mean, there's comedy in it because it's made by a comedian, but it's not a comedy, like at all, I don't think. It's a horror movie. And it's not a horror comedy, you know? Um, but yeah, I mean, there's jokes in it, so, you know. Oh my God, there's so many people that have seen this movie. You gave it an 8. I don't know why you'd say I'm not going to like it. I think it's a fine rating for it. I found Julia Garner's character so fascinating and complex. I kind of wanted the whole film to be from her POV. Yes, I could see that, but I actually really like how I'm gonna disagree with that actually, I think, because I think part of what makes the film work is the way that we see different things from different perspectives, and I think that that is a comment on a community in grief, right? Like the different ways that different people perceive the same set of events when a whole community is grieving. Oh wow, I was generous. Looking back at it in hindsight, I feel like it's more a 3, maybe a 3.5. You know, that's fair. I know it's a polarizing film and not everybody loves it, so it's just something that really works for me. I saw it twice in the theater, um, and I'd watch it again. I'm not gonna pull it up again. I apologize. I could just read your review on air if you want me to. Um, yeah, I think the construction of the film is worth preserving. But her character is really, really good. Thanks, Jeremy. Next I watched the Fantastic Four because I was planning on seeing the new one in theaters and that just didn't happen. But I'm gonna see it at home now. Um, when dosed with cosmic rays, 4 intrepid astronauts are given incredible powers. They decide to form a superhero group called the Fantastic Four to fight their arch enemy, Doctor Doom. You have my permission to read any of my reviews on air ever, whether I'm here in the room or not. Well, I appreciate that. I'll keep that in mind. Um, this is the one that was like put out by Roger Corman, I think. Um, this is like the exploitation circuit. MCU fucking um that's okay. You can send as many messages as you want. I think that helps my numbers, so it's all good. This is the version of the Fantastic Four that um was made very, very cheaply, like specifically to keep rights alive, I think. And I kind of liked it. Like I know that this is not considered to be a good movie and people generally speaking really hate it, but unless you're gonna be James Gunn or Sam Raimi or somebody like that, like somebody who really knows how to make a really, really good live action superhero. I'm sorry, not live action, big budget superhero movie, blockbuster type thing, and you like know what you're doing. Um, and you have like an actual like vision, which most of these directors seem not to, or seem to have their vision like hacked to pieces. Not to shit talk the directors too much. Um, Gosh, I started that sentence a while ago. Um, what was I trying to say? Oh, like unless you're gonna be like that, I would much rather watch a low budget fucking exploitation version of a superhero story than like a really tame sort of watered down. I would watch this over Thunderbolts any day of the week, like no shot, no question. Like just that's an easy one for me. This movie's really silly. I would actually love to see it cleaned up and restored, but I think it kind of works as is presented. I still don't quite understand this. If somebody knows this and can tell me, please do. But this film was actually to my knowledge, never publicly screened, and yet there are bootlegs floating around of it. So, like, how did that happen? Like, did somebody see it in a vault and like scan it on the DL and then put it out? Did somebody like record a private screening? Like, what happened there? You know? Anyway, it's not supposed to be seen, but you can see it on my Plex server, so go check that out. Oh boy. Now we're going into Hot Take Central. Ghostbusters 2016, and I say very obviously the best Ghostbusters film thus far. I am not saying that to be contrarian. I mean that entirely sincerely. The original Ghostbusters is a 3 out of 10, and the woke remake is a 7 out of 10. I really do mean that sincerely. Highly recommend the new Park Chan-wook film, No Other Choice, one of my favorites of the year. Seeing No Other Choice next weekend at Middleburg Film Festival, so psyched for it. Yeah, I would love to see that if it plays here. Val backs me up on this one. It's so true. This movie kind of rips. I was fully prepared to hate it, and not for like, you know, I remember at the time when this was sort of the discourse du jour, and it got fucking Milo Yiannopoulos canned off of Twitter before that was the hell site it became. Specifically for harassing Leslie Jones, because people, I don't know. I guess they decided Ghostbusters was some kind of sacred text that like couldn't be fucking sullied by the presence of women or whatever. And like, if you don't like the movie, fine, whatever. It's like not the most amazing movie I've ever seen or anything. And I could see somebody watching it and be like, you know, I don't think that's for me. But okay, I will say, hey Jeff, thanks for being here. You missed a lot of fun stuff earlier. A troll brigade hit through, and we got hit with probably like 50 messages of just straight up slurs, so had to kind of get that under control. But it seems we're good now. We just got our usual crew of cool people here, so that's exciting. We have 13 people about, which is a little bit on the higher end for me, so that's nice. Okay, Paul Feig is just a director that I like a lot. He seems to take genres and franchises that I don't like and turn them into movies that I do. I don't know. Yeah, it was a whole thing. But yeah, I think that this movie, I think all of the actresses in this are really good. Yeah, Jeremy, it was a whole thing. It was like, I think it was one guy who kept switching his accounts, because it just kept one after the other, just kept banning him over and over again. It was a whole thing. It's fine. We got it under control now. I've got moderators. Actually, Jeff, you're another one. Tell me if you would be comfortable with being given moderator privileges, so that the goal is to have enough moderators such that if this happens again, at least somebody is here to take care of it, so I don't have to keep being distracted and I can just focus on like doing my job. We were eating and watching Halloween 2. Nice. I hope you enjoyed. What was I saying? Oh, okay. So yeah, like if you don't like this movie, whatever, but like a 2.3 is fucking outrageous. Like this movie is good. I don't know what to tell you. Like if you're into action comedies and I'm like not, like you should just like this. I don't understand. Like it's actually funny. Like I actually laughed quite a bit watching this, which is like didn't happen during the other movies, you know? Yeah, I think you should be able to on your phone. I mean, I guess here, I'll just go ahead and do it now. And you can tell me if it looks any different on your end. All right, you're a mod now. You've been knighted, as it were. I thought fucking Chris Hemsworth was really funny in this. Like, so many people, God, dude, so many fucking sensitive ass babies were like, oh, they made the man stupid. Like, it's reverse sexism. They're just being sexist. It's like, dude, the fucking ditzy blonde is like literally a trope. that they're satirizing. Like, unbelievable. The media literacy of these fucking people. I mean, it's astonishing how bad it is. Yes, I could write a 100-page dissertation on how awful the 2016 one was, mistreated by toxic, racist, sexist bros when it was the best film of the series and 100 times better than what followed. Well, I'm glad you agree that it's the best one of the series. I know that that's not the most popular take. Jeremy says, unfortunately, I have to head out for my double feature, but I'll see you soon. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks, Jeremy. I really appreciate you being here and being so active in the chat. It's really a lot more fun for me when people are talking and stuff, so I really do appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, Jeff, yeah, you're good. Anyway, I think this one is great. I would love to actually have this one on physical media. I would probably revisit. It's the only Ghostbusters movie I would revisit on purpose, you know? Like I'm probably more likely to revisit the original, like not on purpose, like just it happens to be on or something, or somebody else really wants to see it or something. But like, yeah, I'd watch this. And Ozzy Osbourne's in it, which is cool. And it's cool to watch this like right after he died. Yeah, I gotta tell you, these cheap Spirit Halloween costumes are not ideal. This is like putting a lot of pressure on my temple, and doesn't feel very good. I'll just say that. So we're powering through, but I might have to invest in some higher quality costumes for this. David says, Celeste, it's great to see you back. I regularly watch your videos and enjoy your film and physical media reviews, but hadn't seen anything new from you for a while. Good, glad to see you again. Thanks. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I've been on and off for a while, and I took a pretty extended hiatus for a little bit, just from moving and surgery and personal life stuff. So, but yeah, I'm really trying to make an effort to do this every Saturday, and I'm trying to edit clips and stuff so that I have regular uploads too. And hopefully get back into just shooting regular videos too, but live streaming is a lot easier for me. So that's what we're doing for now. Moving along. Sane's Bed, I reviewed that for Punk Vacation. Unedited footage of a bear. I think I just said the title and the description are the best jokes here. Yeah, I like, this is the funniest part of it. Is that the name of the film is unedited footage of a bear, and the description says, this is unedited raw footage of a bear I filmed with my cell phone. I'm not sure what kind of bear this is. That's really funny. The short itself, it doesn't really work for me, but I think that's a pretty good joke. So it's never over, Jeff Buckley. I did a short review of this already, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's a pretty creative, well-made, and informative documentary about a great musician. So check that out. Strange Harvest. I really, really loved this movie. There's only one unedited footage of a bear I want to see. You know the one. I actually don't. I don't know what you're talking about. Please help me out there. I've never seen the description before. That's so good. Okay, well, I'm glad you've seen it before. I don't know. I found it kind of grating, honestly, but I appreciated what they were going for. Strange Harvest. I really, really, really love this movie, and I like it the more I think about it. And the lead actor in it saw my review of it and commented on it, which was very sweet of him, and I appreciated that. Oh, the footage from Grizzly Man that's never been released. Sheesh. Okay. I don't know if I would want to watch that, to be honest. I might listen to it out of a sort of morbid curiosity, but I'm not super great with like real life violence and things of that nature. But, you know, I feel like we've been collectively desensitized by footage of violence from, I don't know, existing on this earth for the past few years. Like, Jesus. Anyway, Strange Harvest rules. If you are a fan of mockumentary, found footage horror films, that sort of thing, check that shit out. I think it's genuinely very scary and really well made, and Really fascinating thematically. Yeah, Dustin, I'm glad you like it. I agree, it does need more attention. I just really loved it. I'd like to see that get a release too. This movie's fucked up. Next is Together. This is a movie that I like less the more I think about it, actually. Some people have accused this of being like really homophobic or really transphobic. Sure. I think it probably technically is. I was more offended with um the uh the filmmaking, I guess. The script, I guess. I don't know. It's just sort of it's fine. It's just sort of annoying. And I feel like it should just have committed to being like a weird body horror movie and maybe not as much this sort of like elevated horror thing that it's going for. Like if it had just gone out and been like a fun, nasty horror movie like The Substance or something that had like I think a good message to it, that would have been better, I think. I think I would have preferred that. But, that's the movie that exists. Um, or this is the movie that exists, not the one that I want. So it is what it is. Video store I worked at used to rent the traces of death DVDs. That dude, Brain Damage, used to call the store and introduce himself as Brain Damage from Brain Damage Films. Okay. I don't see it as homophobic. I kind of like equal opportunity villainy. Yeah, I sort of also think that the accusations of homophobia against it are a little overwrought. Whatever. I could see both sides of it. Savage Land. This was Val's recommendation because he said that the only other film that he had seen that was structured like Strange Harvest was this one. And I had said that I had never seen a film that was structured like this. Yo, this movie kicks ass. It's so fucking good. And it's really maybe not prescient because we've always treated immigrants like shit in this country, but like it sure has gotten more relevant as time has gone on. Horror has no borders. When a small town near the Arizona-Mexico border is wiped out overnight, suspicion falls on the lone survivor. But a roll of photos the survivor took that night tells a different story. Roll of photos tells it. Yeah, that's correct. I thought it was. I got a little tripped up with my subject-verb agreement there. And it's free on YouTube. Everyone should give it a watch if interested. Yes, that's a good call out. But yeah, this is a... How do I want to describe this? I probably want to cut a segment out of this because I think that this film is important and should be seen. It's a mockumentary, true crime mockumentary about this sort of... Oh gosh, memory don't fail me now. I can do this. It's about this guy who is accused of like killing like a shit ton of people in this sort of like mostly immigrant neighborhood, like, on the border, Arizona, Mexico. So like right at the hub of like the central conflict, I guess you could call it. The most dangerous place to be like a Hispanic immigrant, and he's accused of all this like horrific shit, but he's like a photographer by trade, and he took pictures of the actual incident as it was unfolding, and there's like all this like creepy ass fucking insane demonic fucking imagery and stuff, but like nobody believes him. Like they just want to frame him as like the perpetrator or whatever. I hope I'm not giving too much away. It's a really, really smart and intelligent and really well made and scary, fucked up movie about, I don't know. It's about the demonization of immigrants, I think, at its heart, right? It's about, but there's also a really interesting angle you could analyze it through the lens, ironically, of like, man, I'm just thinking about more ways in which this has aged really well because like this idea of like having, yes, Jeff, this movie is free, Savage Land, which is also a really interesting creative title given the themes that it explores. The idea of like seeing uh images and you don't know if they're real or not, or you can't trust that they're real, or that you just sort of have to assume or go in with an inherent skepticism that they've been doctored or whatever. That's something that's always existed when you think about all those like silly ass fucking Bigfoot footages that exist that like convince people back in the day or whatever. Like those aren't doctored necessarily, but they are staged. And like you think about, but it's like it was way harder to do that stuff when you're talking about like actual celluloid, when you're talking about like actual physical film and actual physical photography, right? And nowadays that's so commonplace that it's just like everybody kind of assumes that they have to like decide whether or not, or like look into whether or not something is fake, or like at least um sorry Jeff, I hate to be the one to tell you. um what was I saying? Yeah, everybody basically has to assume, like at least go into something with like a baseline skepticism, right? And this is sort of an instance where that is used for like nefarious ends. And I don't know, I just thought it was a really fascinating and really, really compelling and really well made film. Um, one of my favorite horror discoveries of the year for sure. So shout out Val in the chat. I appreciate it. Seconds. I rewatched this. This movie rules. Check this shit out. An unhappy middle-aged banker agrees to a procedure that will fake his death and give him a completely new look and identity, one that comes with its own price. Yeah, I don't know. Trying to think. I think that this thing is like pushing into my brain and making it harder to think. I'm actually going to bail on the costume for tonight. I apologize. But we're just gonna be chilling regular style. Oh man, that feels better. And now I just have cool makeup. Apropos of nothing, you know, just for fun. Okay. Maybe now I can think. um Seconds rocks. Sure does. What do I want to say about this in terms of like my analysis about what it's about? The makeup is so on point. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um what was I saying? Seconds. Um yeah, I don't know. I think that this is a film, I think, fundamentally about aging and about well, it's very specific to the time period, right? Like it's sort of specific to the, it's talking about kind of the, what's the word I want to use here? The alienation, the inherent alienation, and the sort of rigid suffocation of like the American dream and the nuclear family. I think that that's sort of uh what's at the core of this, right? Because you have this guy who's like a very like traditionally successful person, and he has the wife and the kid and the house and the job and all of this, and he's so unhappy that he actually pays an agency to like give him a new body and a new life and everything like that, you know? Um yeah, there's definitely a lot of themes that could be explored here and a lot of really really cool stuff, but it's also just so um I don't know, I just love the way that this film looks and the way that it's shot. I think it's so sick. Adrian, thank you. I appreciate that. That's sweet of you. Um Scare Their Pants Off. I reviewed that for Punk Vacation. Jane on a Train. I also reviewed that for Punk Vacation, but I guess if you can find it, check it out. It's just like a pretty short loop about a woman who gets naked on a train, so that's pretty cool. Fantasy World. I reviewed that for Punk Vacation. Tropic Desire. I reviewed for Punk Vacation. What We Do in the Shadows. This is technically my second time seeing this, but the first time I was genuinely like, I don't know, like it was kind of decided that we were watching this and I didn't really want to, and it was like fucking what? 10 years ago, literally, was the last time I saw this. And I genuinely just wasn't paying attention even a little bit. So I had functionally never seen it, but I loved it like a lot. I thought it was so great. Um, I thought it was really funny. I thought it was really intelligently sort of skewering the sort of tropes. And I don't know, man. I think I just really like mockumentaries. I think that's just a format that really works for me. It's sort of the same way with found footage, where like you kind of it helps me suspend my disbelief to see it in a format that I'm familiar with and associate with like quote unquote real things or whatever. Um, and I think it just really works. Um, I just really like them. I don't know. I like want to watch more of them. But this movie, I don't know, it's just really well written and it's just really funny. Um, very charming. Uh, very, very into this. And this is one that I will probably be revisiting in the future for sure. Another good mockumentary, Pauly Shore is Dead. Well, let's take a look. Uh, Hollywood comedian and actor Pauly Shore loses everything: his house. Nobody in Hollywood wants to represent him. He moves back home with his mom and is now parking cars at the Comedy Store. Then one night, when he's up in his mom's loft, a dead famous comedian appears who tells Pauly to kill himself because he'll go down as a comedic genius who died before his time. Pauly then fakes his own death and the media goes crazy. That's a rough rating, but I'm interested in seeing it. So I appreciate the recommendation. That at least sounds interesting. Next is Young Frankenstein. This was a film that I really, really, really loved back in high school. Um, it's just something that I had a really soft spot for, and I just would quote all the time. Sorry, Dustin. Pauly Shore is not dead as far as I'm aware. Um, though not to be mean, but that feels like it would be a much lesser caliber of loss than Diane Keaton is all I'm saying. Um, yeah, Young Frankenstein is something that has a lot of good quotables in it that my best friend in high school really liked and we watched together and would quote all the time. Um, and it is good, and I like how much it commits to like the parody. Um, but I gotta say, it doesn't hold up as much as I wanted it to. Like, I still love it. I still think it's a really good movie, but um, there's some pretty rough misogyny in this that I don't love, and also the movie is pretty slow. Like, it's too long. I think it should be a little more streamlined, you know? Pick it up a little bit. So that's that one. But Mel Brooks, yeah. I also just don't like Mel Brooks, so that's another thing. But I do really like this movie still. So I think this was like the one where I was like, yeah, he's got at least one in him. But I mean, like when I think about when I watched Spaceballs for the first time, kind of recently, in that it was like not when I was in high school. Like I hated that movie. Like I couldn't even finish it. Like I don't know, his pacing and his comedy, just generally speaking, does not work for me at all. Um, but I like this movie. I like it a lot. So there is that. Making sense of Young Frankenstein. This is just a making of documentary, so, and I guess I didn't think much of it, but I do love Dracula Dead and loving it. Yeah, I need to check that one out. Um, I remember when that one was released. Yeah, there's just a lot of good performances in this and a lot of good writing in it, but I do really feel like that it's just too long. I'm sorry. And loving it. This is also Mel Brooks. I didn't realize that he did this again. Yeah, that's interesting. Coming back to it to do Dracula. Let's see. I've seen Spaceballs and I hate it. I've seen Robin Hood Men in Tights and I hate it. And I've seen Young Frankenstein. And I really like it. So we'll see. I'll probably see. I mean, these movies are also just really like big, important movies in like comedy history or whatever. So I'll probably check them out at some point. But I'm not like dying to or anything. 40 Acres. I did a review of this as well. I really liked it. You should check it out. It's a really good sort of um post-apocalyptic sort of like survival thriller horror adjacent sort of deal. Um History Roll Part 2 is fun. I have it, but I haven't seen it. Highest to lowest. Okay. Okay. I love this movie so much. I don't understand why people aren't fucking with it. I gotta be honest. Like, I love the original High and Low, and I think that this one, I have it at a higher rating. I don't think it's better. I need to rewatch High and Low, but this just, I don't know, it just really connected with me, and I just had such a good time watching it in the theater. And God, I just think it has so many interesting things to say, and it's so immaculately crafted to me. I heard Ryan talk about on stream recently that like the green screens on this were really distracting. Maybe it's just I didn't notice. Like if that's a thing, I didn't notice. I thought it looked beautiful. Like I thought the cinematography was so good. I thought the pacing was on point. I thought ASAP Rocky was amazing in this movie. I thought the soundtrack was incredible. Um, I don't know. I think it's just a really, really great movie about sticking to your guns and like um also like I don't know, staying true to like what you believe in and who you are, like and not letting like other people and culture and like money and all these things like corrupt and change you. Like I think it's a really powerful, really gripping, captivating film, and I think it's just nice. Sorry, my allergies are bad today. I just think it's really nice to watch like a straight up motherfucking like genius, like master of this craft, like really cook and just do some dope shit. Um, I think Denzel Washington. Well, let me actually get this pulled up for the visual anyway. All money ain't good money. Yeah. When a Titan music mogul is threatened with a ransom plot, he's jammed up in a life or death moral dilemma reinterpretation of Akira Kurosawa's crime thriller High and Low, now played out in the mean streets of modern day New York City. Um, yeah, I don't know. Denzel Washington is incredible in this. Jeffrey Wright is incredible in this. And yeah, I don't know. ASAP Rocky is low key, I think, the MVP here. Like, I think there's some really creative sequences in here that take big swings that I don't think worked for some people, but really worked for me. I think there's a way that you could read this that this is just like more old head shit. It's like shitting on like younger people or like the music business as it's changed and like, trying to go back to the good old days. But I don't think that's what it is. I think it's more about yeah, staying true to yourself and like not letting like trends and corporate influence and all these other things like change like your sort of unshakable morals, and the things that you know to be true. Um, I think that is a good message, and I think that this is a great movie. Um, Highest to Lowest is fantastic. Hoping that song from the last scene is Oscar nominated. I mean, that's probably the one that will be. But if I were to pick, it would be the ASAP Rocky song. Like he has two songs on the soundtrack, and they're both great. But I forget what the name of it is, but the like the fucking banger, I want that one to be Oscar nominated. That song fucking rips. Um, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like the themes are really good, but at the end of the day, this is like the type of thing where when I watch it, I'm like, man, I just fucking love movies. Like this is what it's all about, like just like amazing. Like what a great opening shot of New York City, like it's so beautiful. And It's just so thrilling. I'm repeating myself, but I love this movie, and I would really like to see it again. This is 2.9. Man, fuck you. I'm gonna add this to my contrarian list, I guess. But yeah. It's Apple original, so it's not gonna get a disc, which is unfortunate, but it will probably live on my Plex server at some point. So I can watch it again. Oh boy. Okay. Jimmy and Stiggs. I wrote the most grating and exhausting romantic comedy you'll see this year. That's a bit tongue in cheek because that's not really what it is, but low key, this movie's kind of gay. Um, look, look, look. Okay, if you liked this movie, I'm really happy for you. Um, I almost walked out. I almost couldn't do it. I had two other people with me. Yeah, seriously. Time to break out the fucks. I might get demonetized if I swear as much as I would need to keep up with the pace of this movie. And they don't even ding you for swearing this much late into a stream or swearing this late into a stream. The literal poster tagline is "Lose your fucking mind." Yep. I mean, yep, that's accurate. I did feel like I was losing my mind a bit watching this. Yeah, I was with Val watching this in the theater and with our other friend. Hey Steven, thanks for being here. You missed so much today. You missed my nun outfit and you missed the Nazi brigade that came through. Like the literal Nazis that fucking spammed my fucking stream. So that was fun. It's good to see you here. I'm glad you're here. Okay, this goddamn movie. A shitstorm of bad news sends out-of-work filmmaker Jimmy Lang spiraling into an out-of-control bender, during which he claims to have been abducted by aliens. Fearing they'll come back, he contacts his old friend Stiggs to help him gear up for war. When the sun sets, the duo are thrown into a hallucinatory explosion of alien drugs, booze, and all-out carnage. Yeah, internet Nazis are fun. This is only 80 minutes long, and it felt like it was like 3 hours. It was insufferable. Like this is one of the worst movies of the year for sure for me. Like I could not stand it. Gotta scoot. Have a great rest of your night. Happy to moderate anytime I'm around. Thanks, Dustin. I appreciate that. Steven, you're another one. Would you like to be a moderator? Because I'm at the point now where I'm getting raided by fucking Nazis and I don't have the time to like ban them all at once while I'm doing this at the same time. So if you're comfortable with it, I can make you a moderator and you can ban any shenanigans that you see. Cool. Doing that now. You're being knighted. You get to be a cop. I hope you're happy about that. As a moderator. Da-da. Cool. You are good. Okay, this movie. There's a ACAP, yeah, for sure. There's a there's a baseline level of appreciation I have to afford this for just being a passion project. Like you can tell a movie's bad when this is what you have to say about it. I appreciate that this is like a homemade passion project, shot on film, all practical effects sort of deal. Okay, I appreciate that. I really do. That being said, God, the movie still has to be good. Like the script has to exist. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm not even saying the script is bad. I'm saying I'm not convinced there is one. Like I'm pretty sure that this dude talks like this and this is just him riffing. I am a person who swears pretty frequently, I think. Maybe too much, some might say. It can be a little bit of a crutch, It could be like a bit of a space filler, whatever you want to say. When I tell you the amount of swearing in this movie, the amount of times that the word fuck is used in this movie, I mean, it has to, per minute, set a record. It has to, like, there's a Wikipedia page for the most times that word is used in a movie, and it's got to be on there. That's like somewhere because it's outrageous. Like, I actually had a headache by the end of this from listening to this man say the same word over and over and over and over and over again. Like three, four times in the same sentence, in every sentence in the movie. Like, God, it's just, it's, it's really bad. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm sorry. The movie is terrible. Shout out Joe Begos. I'm sure he's a nice, well, I hope he's a nice guy. This movie is just the opposite of what I like. I don't know. There were things I appreciated about it a little bit in that we clearly have some of the same tastes. So like there's a song from The Body in here, which is pretty cool. I don't think I've ever heard The Body in a movie before. That band is sick. He's watching a Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray at some point in the movie, and he has like one sheets of like vintage porn up in his house. So like there's stuff that I can appreciate about it, but yeah. Yeah, I don't walk out at movies, and I really thought about it for this one. So it's a rough one. Dead to Rights. Okay. This is a movie that has really stuck with me and that I still think about. This is a Chinese film that played in a very limited run in my city, and I was happy I had the opportunity to catch it. It's really, really well made, and it's really, really well written, and it's very memorable, and it's very engrossing and disturbing. Okay. In the Nanjing Massacre of 1937, in order to save his life, postman A. Chang pretended to be a photo developer in a photo studio and developed photos for the Japanese army. He also took in a group of Japanese soldiers and civilians, turning the studio into a temporary shelter. However, in the face of the Japanese army's cruel atrocities, A. Chang risked his life to safely transfer the refugees and expose the evidence of the massacre to the public. Yeah, so it's a rough, rough subject matter, kind of a rough movie. Um, I will say, maybe it's just more obvious because I don't watch a lot of like contemporary Chinese films, or, these things become more obvious when you're like watching another culture do it. Um, but like this is very, very obviously like nationalistic propaganda. But let's not pretend like that's a problem unique to different countries, right? Like, what is every Marvel movie? What is every war movie ever made? Like, we're not subtle about it over here either. I do feel like there was a point towards the end of this where it got a little bit on the nose, where it was just kind of saying it um, in a way that I feel like a lot of American films are like at least attempt to be a little bit more subtle about it, but I don't know that that makes it. I don't think that makes it any better. What is every message from the White House? Seriously, like we're not in the position to be criticizing jingoistic bullshit right now, is all I'll say. And this is like, this is a real thing that happened. And it's really awful. Like it was really tough to watch. And yeah, man, I I'd probably be real pissed about it too, and I'd probably want to make sure people did not forget that shit. Um, if I, was closer to these events. But yeah, it's a film that really stuck with me emotionally and visually and everything, and it's something that I think about a lot. Um, I don't know that I have anything more to say about it other than that. Like it's if you like historical dramas, if you can handle more disturbing subject matter and stuff like that, I think I'll get a lot out of this. And I do think I really try my best to see as many foreign films as I can, especially when they play in a theater here. Contemporary foreign cinema. I think it's really important to engage with cultures other than our own, I think it's important to make sure that we aren't just staying like in a sort of monoculture bubble where we just assume that America and our problems or whatever are the world, because it's just not true, right? And especially non-English speaking countries, like I think it's especially important. Countries that are subject to a lot of propaganda the other way, like a lot of xenophobia and stuff like that. People that are like made out to be um, enemies in American discourse. I think it's important to hear out their art and their films. I feel like propaganda filled Asian action films slide right into America unquestioned, especially historical action films. Yeah. Um, Yeah, not a ton of people seem to have seen this. But I fuck with it. So check it out if you can. All right, we're coming up on 2 hours here. Um, I'm definitely not done with the update yet, but I'm coming to the end of my rope with this. We'll see if I can do it. I will say, um, tips, donations, etc. have this great motivating effect on me. So if anybody's feeling generous and wants to motivate me to get to the end of this, let's do it. Um, Shin Godzilla. I was really happy to see, I don't mean to just say it outright, but this would be a really good opportunity to make Godzilla happy. You know what I'm saying? There's a way that we can make that happen. So that's all I'm saying. Shin Godzilla. Um, this was out in a new restoration, touring theaters and such. And thankfully, there were plenty of screenings available here in Richmond. So I got a group together and we went to see it. And I gotta say, the theater seats were really uncomfortable, and this is a long, dense movie, so my viewing experience wasn't ideal. Well, that's another way to make Godzilla happy is you can subscribe. So thanks to Queen B77 for subscribing. You're dope, and I appreciate it. um, I like the Godzilla look. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, so I will say, Shin Godzilla, this is the scariest he's ever looked by far. And he looks real goofy for a second, but like it's all part of it. It's unnerving and it's strange and I really like it. So, um, okay, let's just pull it up here. From Hideaki Anno. I don't know how to pronounce that. I apologize. Um, yeah, the creator of Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is one of the best just pieces of media ever created, in my opinion. Um, that new poster fucking kicks ass. Like, that's absolutely my shit. You know what I'm saying? I got the rewards poster from Regal shipped to my door, so it's on my wall now. Big fan of that poster. I mean, the original poster is also really sick. Like, I mean, these are all good, you know? I like this one too. Chin Godzilla, you know? It's pretty good. Some good ones. The original Japanese one too is pretty good. But I just really like this new one. Okay, when a massive guild monster emerges from the deep and tears through the city, the government scrambles to save its citizens. A ragtag team of volunteers cuts through its web of red tape to uncover the monster's weakness and its mysterious ties to a foreign superpower. But time is not on their side. The greatest catastrophe to ever befall the world is about to evolve right before their very eyes. So this is like 80% bureaucracy and 20% Godzilla fucking shit up. And I know that some people would prefer that those ratios be flipped, but I really like the movie as it exists. I think it's a really sort of intelligent and artsy and nuanced and kind of bold swing at the Godzilla franchise. It's really cool to hear the music from Evangelion in here. I think it's cool that you let a weird art house guy who hates who's like a straight up fucking like nihilist like tackle this. Yeah, the score is really good. Um I don't know. I dig this movie a lot. And even though it is exhausting, like the fucking the gas never like they don't let up on this movie at all. Um and so it can be kind of an exhausting viewing experience. And like the amount of dialogue is just really overwhelming. The amount of characters is really over, and they're all wearing the exact same outfit, so it's like it can be really hard to tell who's who and like kind of yeah, it does start quick. Like the it really just starts off at 100 and never lets up, you know. But the Godzilla destruction scenes are among the best in the franchise, I think, and the design is among the best, I think. I love the Shin Godzilla look. I think it's fucking sick. Um, and I don't know. I do think there's when I was, oh wow, thank you, Steven, Ragnar. I appreciate you a lot. You know I got you bleed purple. Always. Always bleed purple. You're the best. Godzilla is fucking partying during his review. We're gonna run that shit back. Let's go. Look at him dance. Vintage. Classic. Classic boy. All right, this stream started out pretty rough. It was very low energy, and then I got fucking raided by Nazis. But you know what? It's turned around. We're doing good. We're making it happen. All right. Look at that. Our stretch goal. We're getting there. We're getting there. Maybe I should bump it up to 250 because that's what I had to pay a ticket for this month. It's a whole thing. Anyway, what am I doing? What am I talking about? Okay, yes. When I was watching it, I couldn't get because there's a lot of this is a extremely political film. Um, and there's a way that you could read this that I think is very bad. Like I think there's a very conservative like read of this film where it's like, oh, less government is better and like you could watch this like I feel like Elon Musk would watch this movie and be like, yeah, see? This is why Doge is so important. We just got to like make sure the government doesn't exist and like, you know, the private sector could do its work and like fix Godzilla. Fix the Godzilla problem with like SpaceX, you know what I'm saying? Like I think that there's a way that you could read that in the text of the film. And part of why I hesitate to ascribe that to it is because this is very, very specific to Japanese politics. This is also based on a real incident that happened. And yeah. So there's definitely a cultural disconnect there where I don't feel comfortable ascribing political stuff like in an American context to it where it may not exist. Um, but and so I have been meaning to do some more reading on people who are smarter about this stuff and know more about this stuff, who can uh maybe help me parse through the political messaging of this a little bit better. But I do think that generally speaking, this is about political gridlock and how bureaucracy and sort of partisanship and you know all the bullshit just kind of makes it such that it's harder for stuff to get done, which I think is pretty relatable as an American, where we just kind of accept that Congress doesn't do anything. Like it's just sort of is what it is. Like the president is just becoming more and more important and like just kind of legislates through executive orders and stuff, and like the Supreme Court kind of legislates from the bench and stuff like that. And so yeah, I think watching this also post COVID is pretty interesting because this came out, gosh, it was made pre-Trump and then 4 years pre-COVID. Like it's definitely an interesting watch given everything that has transpired. And again, like I know I'm projecting American politics onto a Japanese film, but um yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Um yeah, I'd be interested in doing some more reading on this and seeing what other takes people have about this because I do think it's a complicated film that uh you could read a bunch of different ways. Um and yeah, I do think that like I don't think it's that controversial to say that like um I think we do need bureaucracy in some capacity to like make things happen and shit, but like there is a point at which it becomes way too much and you're just kind of like, are you serious? Do we have to do all of this? Like can we just make this easy? Like and I think that that is a system that does not gel or is not particularly compatible with like a very time sensitive crisis. And so, yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like my thoughts on this are a little bit useless because Um, I'm not as familiar with the ins and outs of Japanese politics, but that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Otherwise, I think it's a really great like viewing experience. I think it's really well made. I think it's very compelling, and at the end of the day, Godzilla looks sick and does some cool shit in this. So that's kind of the main thing that you want out of something like this, right? Next. Yo, I fucking love this movie. Drive-Away Dolls. I wrote, y'all asked to bring back sex in movies and then let this flop, shaking my head. I love lesbians. And I think that that's still accurate. A story of two ladies going south. That's a great tagline. Anyway, okay. Steven says, watch Naked Gun tonight. It was pretty good. Yeah, I needed to see it. I need to see it. I've heard good things about it. And I like the original. So I'm curious to see how this new one holds up. Adjusting my camera a little bit. That's probably fine. Cool. A story of two ladies going south. Jamie, an uninhibited free spirit bemoaning yet another breakup with a girlfriend, and her demure friend Marion desperately need to loosen up in search of a fresh start. The two embark on an impromptu road trip to Tallahassee, but things quickly go awry when they cross paths with a group of inept criminals along the way. So, what I'm going to say is that Pedro Pascal is in this, and he is credited as Penis Collector. So that should let you know the type of film that we're talking about here. Wait, is she credited as a director? Is this in my No, this is recent. Okay, I'll add it to my directed by women list. That's wild. I didn't realize that she was a co-director on this. I know that she was a co-writer on it. Neat. I wonder what happened there. But in any case, I think this movie is extremely funny. I think it is extremely, extremely horny, and in a way that is like extremely gay and very uninhibited. And it's just the sort of thing that you don't really see in movies enough, like in contemporary films, but in older films either. Like I want more movies like this. I want more women being horny as fuck, having sex on screen, doing depraved shit. That's what I want. You know? Like, this movie's dope. It's really funny. It's really well paced. It's really well made. I love it, and I don't know why it has such a low rating. I think that that is a bummer. I don't know. I'm always seeing people say like, "Oh, we need to bring back sex in movies and stuff," but I guess that's just my circles because they are reacting to the general celibacy and like sort of prudishness of contemporary cinema. And I guess when something like this comes out and nobody sees it, the people that do see it shit all over it, like sort of what you're talking about, right? But I'm really glad that the follow-up was made and released, and I really hope that they get to complete their trilogy because it's fucking dope. I think some people are also like, oh, whatever, a fucking cis man making movies about lesbians, but like I don't remember if his wife is bisexual or a lesbian, but they're not monogamous. Like this woman clearly fucks women. I don't know what to tell you. Like this is clearly like an in-group sort of creation. And I love it, and I think it's great, and more people should see it. So go see Drive-Away Dolls. Next is Takeoff. I reviewed that for Punk Vacation, but it's great, and you should buy it. Next is Neza. This is kind of speaking to what I was talking about earlier, where I think it's really important to see the cultural exports of other countries and other cultures. A young boy is born as the reincarnation of a demonic power into a society that hates and fears him, destined by prophecy to bring destruction to the world. Neza must choose between good and evil to see if he can change his fate. Yeah, so I didn't think that this was like the most amazing movie I've ever seen or anything like that, but I thought it was pretty visually stunning and pretty. And I will say, I originally started watching the dub of this for like 5 minutes, and I was like, this is unbearable. It's so bad. Like, it's so clearly not good or correct. And then I pulled up the subtitle version, and I could already tell from the differences in the dialogue that, like, they tried a little bit, but it was just not great. And like the subtitle is the way to go. So, um, but yeah, I enjoyed this quite a bit. I think it's worth seeking out. I believe on Amazon Prime it's the dub, and Netflix it's the sub. So go check it out on Netflix or find it through other means if you must. Um, but yeah, I did dig this quite a bit. I liked the sequel more, as we'll get to in a bit, but yeah, it's like this is like the most popular animated franchise of all time, like in China, but also like Neza 2 is like the most highest, it's like the highest grossing animated film of all time, and most Americans just are not engaging with it at all. I think that's kind of fucked up, and like I think it is sort of our obligation to, like, how many fucking American movies do you think the average Chinese person has seen? Like, maybe engage with other cultures a little bit. Um, Almost there. Never even heard of it. Yeah, isn't that crazy that it's like the most popular animated film ever made, and like most people haven't heard of it? Like, definitely check that out. And then Neza 2. Yeah, so I saw this. All right, we're almost done. We can do this. I saw this in IMAX 3D. A lot of people were criticizing A24 for being like, why would you think that this would be successful? Of course it was going to flop. I guess they had more trust in American audiences than they should have, and I also kind of did too. I was like, oh, that's really awesome that they like, hired big name voice actors to like do a real proper English dub of this and like put it out for American audiences to engage with. And like, I'll raise my hand and criticize myself and say that like this probably played in its original language in theaters here, and it wasn't on my radar and I didn't see it, but I'm grateful to A24 for putting this on my radar. And I would have heard of it eventually just by looking at lists of like top grossing films or whatever, but like their trailer that they cut for it was really good, and like the marketing that they did for it I thought was very good, and it was effective for me or whatever, and like people were saying that they hadn't even heard of it or whatever, and I don't know, I guess that just surprises me, but this is me sharing with you that I think that this was really good, and I think that you should check it out for sure. I do think that maybe an 8 was a touch generous, and like maybe it's closer to a 7 for me, but regardless, I think it's a really beautifully animated and complex story. And yeah, I don't know, I just do think it's important to be engaging with stuff like this. So definitely check it out if you get a chance. After a catastrophic event leaves their bodies destroyed, Neza and Aobing are granted a fragile second chance at life. As tensions rise between the dragon clans and celestial forces, the two must undergo a series of perilous trials that will test their bond, challenge their identities, and decide the fate of both mortals and immortals. So yeah, I think the dub for this one was certainly better than the dub for the first one. Like, it wasn't distractingly bad or anything like that, but it would have still been preferable, I think, to watch this subtitled. So I would be interested in doing that at some point. I am glad I got to see this in IMAX 3D because it looked fucking killer and like it was a really good experience. But yeah, like nobody saw this, so it was unfortunate. But in any case, I do recommend it. It looks like it's not streaming yet, but hopefully it will be. Next is Honey Don't. I wrote, I continue to be confused at the reception to these. It's not as good as Drive Away Dolls because it's less horny, less funny, and less campy, but this is still a sexy and fun crime thriller. I mean, that's pretty much what I think, right? Like, Oh, I gotta say, her Margaret Qualley's accent in the first one is pretty ridiculous, and in this one, it's a lot easier to, it's more believable. I'll just say that. She only has two desires, and one of them is justice. The other one is fucking. I'll tell you that. Honey O'Donoghue, a small town private investigator, delves into a series of strange deaths tied to a mysterious church. Yeah, Chris Evans is in this as the scumbag fucking mega pastor guy, and he's really good in it. Charlie Day is just kind of there. I mean, I guess I'm glad he's there, but I don't think he does anything particularly special with his um performance. Okay, I see that this is also credited with her as a co-director, so I guess, yeah, I guess I'll add her, or I'll add this film to the list too. Cool. Um, yeah, I think that this film probably, she's credited as co-director on this too. If you didn't, yeah. um, yeah, I think that this film, what am I trying to say? Yeah, I think that it is operating at a larger scale than maybe it is able to handle. Like, I wish that this film was longer, or maybe I wish that there was a sequel directly to it. But, by the end of it, I do feel like more or less the loose ends are tied up, and you kind of get what's going on here. Yeah, I think it's less overtly erotic. There's probably more sex scenes in it, but they're not as horny, and they're not as like actually erotic, I think. Like, I think the first film is just straightforwardly hornier, and I had heard that it was the opposite. But in any case, I like what Margaret Qualley is doing in these different performances. I just really like these movies, and I'm really excited for the third one, assuming it still comes to fruition, because I know that these keep bombing, which is really unfortunate. I don't know, man. Support lesbians. Support weird horny shit, campy fucking fun movies. I don't know. Like, it's not fucking No Country for Old Men, but it's still like, it's good for what it is. Anita, Swedish Nymphet. I reviewed that for Punk Vacation. Devilfish. Lamberta Bava, Seek Your Teeth into Pure Terror. Yeah. I only recently discovered that she's a Nepo baby. Yeah, I didn't know that at first either. I forget who she's the child or whatever of. Um, a marine biologist, a dolphin trainer, a research scientist, and a local sheriff try to hunt down a large sea monster, a shark-octopus hybrid that is devouring swimmers and fishermen off a South Florida coast. You know what this is, right? Italian sharksploitation. Like, do I need to talk too much about this? Probably not. Like, it's not great, but I enjoyed it, and it's dumb, and it's a fun time for what it is. Look, I've watched some real bad shark movies, like The Meg. It's not good. It's not even fun to watch. This is fun to watch. So, it shows the action-packed and oversexed world of an electrician. Um, which one? uh, so yeah, I recommend this. I think it's fun for what it is. Devilfish. Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right. I forgot about that part. What other posters does this have? This also invented the Sharktopus, so, you know, look at that one sheet, or that original Italian, whatever you call it. It's pretty fun. Monster Shark. Oh, I like this one. I'll probably change it to that, actually. Nice. What sort of backdrops do we have? Oh, that's sick. I mean, it's gotta be this one, right? Nice. It's also featured in MST3K. Nice. Um, yeah. Next is Superbad. I love this movie. I think it holds up. I thought it was really funny the first time I watched it. I thought it was really funny the second time I watched it, and I watched it again, and I was like, maybe this won't hold up. And I think it does. I think it's actually like really funny, but also not particularly problematic. Like, I actually think the messages in this movie are really good. I hope that this has prevented, young men from getting people drunk and thinking that it's okay to sleep with them. Like, I actually think that this is fairly decent consent education, which is like, you know, I wish we could trust the schools to do the heavy lifting on that and not super bad, but if you're gonna make a teen sex comedy, I think it's admirable that there's some good messages in this. And like, look, the McLovin bit, that's fucking funny. I don't know, that's like one of the all-time great bits. Like that's so fucking funny, you know? Look at him. He's it's so good. He's from Hawaii. Like, come on. Yeah, I think this movie's great. And I was laughing a lot. And I got nice and high for this one. So there's that too. But I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, the cops, the like commentary on police on this is pretty good too. I don't know, man. This movie kind of rules. I thought I had it, but I apparently lost it in the divorce. And so somebody on Plex had my back for that one, but I'd like to reobtain it at some point. Um, and then Booksmart. My friend Quinn had suggested that this be a double feature because this is like apparently very inspired by Superbad, and I could definitely see it. Like, this is like the version for the girls and the gays, as they say, right? I don't know which one I prefer. I think they're both really, really good, but maybe just because I've seen it more times, I prefer Superbad, but I did really like this. Two academic teenage superstars realize on the eve of their high school graduation that they should have worked less and played more, determined to never fall short of their peers. The girls set out on a mission to cram 4 years of fun into one night. I can find you a copy easily for real cheap. It's always at the used stores around here. Nice. That would be cool. um, I loved this movie. I thought it was extremely charming. I thought it was extremely well written. I thought it was very funny. I thought it had a lot of heart. Like, I thought it was a really, really good, really compelling coming of age story about women made by women. I've been meaning to see this ever since I watched the special features on Fast Times at Ridgemont High, because Olivia Wilde interviews the director of that film, whose name is escaping me at the moment, but she said that was like her main inspiration for Booksmart. Could totally see it. It's like Fast Times plus Superbad gets you this, It's a great movie. If you've never seen it, you should definitely seek it out. And then the last one is Redneck Zombies. Shout out Stephen Perkins in the chat for sending me your copy of this. I mean, it's not amazing. It's not my favorite trauma film or anything, but I did really enjoy this for what it is. Like, I think if you're trying to put on something dumb and fun, like, you could do a lot worse than this. They're tobacco chewing, gut chomping, cannibal kinfolk from hell. Nice. A barrel of radioactive waste is lost out in the woods. Some demented rednecks find it and use it as part of their still. Everybody who drinks from the liquor they produce turns into a zombie. I mean, yeah, that's the plot. It's trauma for sure. Yep. I would say so. This seems excessive. Studios, Trauma Entertainment, Trauma Team Video, and Trauma. Why are there 3 of them? I don't know what that's about, but in any case, I don't know. Is there anything else to say about this? You know what you're getting. The creepy face covered preacher is great. Yeah. I feel like you know what you're getting with something like this, right? And then Sweet Redneck Memories, which is the making of documentary. That's it. We're done. The trans rep is really interesting. I'm going to be so real with you. I don't remember there being trans people in this. Can you remind me what that is? I would appreciate that. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being so active in the chat, for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. And y'all are the best. Oh. Is the making of better than the movie? No, the making of is just fine. Like with the terra firma. One of the children. Oh, you're so right. You're so right. Yeah, it is like actually not bad. Like the character in this who like wants to be a woman, they're just kind of like, all right, that's weird, but sure. Yeah, all the locals accept her and always use her real name. Yeah, it's actually like not bad. Like I think it is still treated like a bit, but like come on. For like 1980s SOV horror, like it's not bad. So yeah. Yeah, there's stuff to appreciate about it. Thank you for calling that out. Um I'll tell you what, making sure I didn't miss anything. We're good. Um I pre-ordered I had to do it. I pre-ordered the Possession 4K from Second Sight yesterday. Like as soon as that was announced, I was like, whatever that costs, I'm getting it. Like, hopefully I just have the money in my bank account to get it. And I did. It's 65 bucks. Not ideal, but that's okay. I grabbed a couple things at the Orbit used section to make it free shipping. Um, it is a new transfer. It's from what I understand, the Umbrella is a 4K from the OCN, but this one, like the grading on it was supervised by the producer of the film. So it's slightly different. I don't think that that's the reason to buy it again, though. I think that the 200-page book full of like scholarship on the film and um the script reproduction is also in there, and then there's also like a shit ton of new special features, and they actually went through and restored the American cut of it and added commentaries and stuff to that. So like I've always wanted to see it. I mean, it's probably not the version to watch, but just like for posterity, it's nice to have that. So yeah, I like I didn't feel like going to work that day, and I was just kind of like, because like I have a job where I can kind of make my own hours. And I was just sort of like, I'm not feeling it today. And then that went up for pre-order and it was 65 bucks. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to work today. And the tips today were enough such that it also paid for it. So thank you. Thank you all. I appreciate it. We're running it back. Yeah, I'm happy with the Umbrella copy I have. That Film to You is like Phantasm to me, where I would shell out for a crazy special edition. Yeah, I was actually thinking like, how many films are there where I would actually shell out this much money for a special edition like this? It's The Wicker Man, it's Possession, and like, I have my Wicker Man imprint set right there, which is like the big one. I have the 4K. After that, I don't know. Like maybe Godzilla, maybe like there's ones maybe where I do that, like maybe like the Night of the Hunter, maybe Mulholland Drive, but like Studio Canal put out a real chunky set of Mulholland Drive, and I didn't feel I need to buy it. So like, there's a very very few select films, that I feel compelled to um pay that kind of money for, and this is one of them. So I was like, you know what, I'll just do it, because I told myself at the time that I was gonna be doing that. So it is what it is. I just realized I didn't turn my Wi-Fi off today. I do have it plugged into the router, but we haven't had any connection issues, so that's awesome. I have yet to upgrade Wicker Man. Which am I getting? I trust you. Okay. For 4K, uh, like the one that I have is the Lionsgate Steelbook. Let me see. I'm trying to see which ones are still in print. Okay, so yeah, I think just this regular one is fine. I'm glad that they have this now, this standard edition from the UK. I'll put it in the chat. I think this one's fine. It's the exact same transfer as the one that I have. I just have the really beautiful steelbook, and I think even the features are pretty much the same, if not fairly similar. I might have to get this too, just for posterity, and because I love this artwork. Here, I'll put this on the screen that I'm sharing. Um, Yeah, because they did because they have this giant steelbook thing. They have this one, which is the one that I have, but it's out of print because it was a Best Buy exclusive. Um, and then somebody who remembers this better than me. I mean, I do like this steelbook too, but it was really expensive and I didn't feel the need to have it, even though, shut up, go away, even though it was in my colors and everything, you know? Um, and yeah, this was like the ultra chunky version that like was $100 and I almost bought it. I'm gonna be honest with you, I almost bought it because I'm kind of insane, but I'm not insane enough to actually do it because I was like, there's not actually anything there that I need other than like packaging, you know? So yeah, I'd go with this one. Um, that artwork is so fucking good, dude. Like I literally have the old artwork tattooed on my arm and like I liked it so much and I like this one better. Like this one? It's so annoying. This one here? This is the artwork that I have tattooed on me. Um, but yeah. Now I just need to figure out if there are exclusive features to this set that I need to have. Yeah, it's sick. Um, I need to know if I need to get this for any exclusive features. I don't think I do, because I think I would have done that at the time if I did. Hold on, let's see. No, that's not helpful. I will say for features, where is it? Well, that's weird that it's not showing up. Oh, here it is. Duh. This is like maybe some of the best special features of any release that I own. Like truly, truly incredible. Um, so I know it's out of print, but if you can track it down for a good price, I recommend that. But just your regular Studio Canal 4K will do you for the uh 4K upgrade. We did it, y'all. 2.5 hours this time. I appreciate y'all sticking with me through all the madness earlier. Um, let's run back the Godzilla. Thank you, NA, for your donation. I appreciate you. Thank you, Queen B77, for subscribing. The subscriptions have been a little bit rough as of late. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I appreciate that. And Ragnar, as always. Thank you all. I appreciate you so much. Y'all are the best. And thanks to all my new mods. I'll see you next Saturday. Bye.